What's up, everybody? Welcome to the combo section for my Armor King character guide. This one should be pretty short and sweet, even though I say that every time. He's got a pretty straightforward set of combos for a character in this game. They did a pretty decent job of not Tekken 8ing the shit out of this character, which I appreciate. I want to start off first with mini combos. These are things where you don't get like a whole combo and juggle and heat and all that stuff. You just get a follow-up, stuff like that. The beginning of these, I want to talk about moves that cause that bounce state. Up back 1 does it, up back 1+2 does it, and crouch dash 4. Y'all get that bound where they're on their back with their feet up in the air. You got 3 basic choices here. Forward, forward 4 feels pretty good. You can do forward 1+4. The shoulder feels pretty good. But now you've got some interesting new choices, which are the down 4-4-4. That third kick will break the floor and send them down below, which is pretty nice. But if you don't have a breakable floor, you can do down 4-4-3+4, and he does that big stomp, which does extra damage. That's kind of a cool addition to this game. So you can get a floor break if you wanted on the grounded opponent, but if not, you can opt for like 5 extra damage. So that's pretty sweet. That works on all 3 of those particular types of knockdown. This bounce state, those are your basic options. Similarly, our grounded knockdowns, like crouch dash 1, they flip to the ground, they can't tech roll. They're vulnerable in there. You get a similar thing from counter hit of down 3+4-1. They twirl to the ground like that. Counter hit of 4-3, same twirl. That has to be the 3 though. If you get hit by 4-3, that's a completely different response. It has to be the 3 hit that causes them to counter hit like that on the ground. And you get counter hit from Bad Jaguar 4, same twirl to the ground. So these opponents are on the ground, which means you can ground throw them. Down back 1+3 does that for this instance. Down back 2+4 usually restands them. So what you get here is a pretty good amount of damage. We'll talk about the restand when we get to wall combos because it's super nasty, but they can break these. That's the drawback here, is these can be broken, so you might risk getting no follow-up damage. So what can happen is the best possible result or no possible result. If you want just straightforward damage off of these, your best option would be the corporate elbow, down 2+3. I don't know why they changed that. It used to be down 1+2, and he doesn't have a down 1+2, so I don't know why they had to move that, but that is what it is now. Corporate elbow is down 2+3, you get that guaranteed damage. Or you can also do your stomp that we just talked about. Get your floor breaker, get the damage. They're on the ground, you can do that, but you can also throw them for a higher risk reward scenario. A couple of moves that cause crouch, speaking of throws, because throws versus crouching opponent in this game cannot be broken, those become really good follow-ups. So you face things like Bad Jaguar 1+2, that forces them to crouch and gives me 12 frames of advantage. Counter hit forward 4, same thing, force crouch +12, and the counter hit from down forward 1-2. That second hit, same result. So crouching throws cannot be blocked or cannot be teched. Throws are 12 frame startup. So the sum result here is when I do Bad Jaguar 1+2, crouch grab is unbreakable. I cannot do anything about that. It's free. The 1 throw breaks the floor, as you could see. 2 throws a heat engager. He doesn't do the dash up because he's on the ground, but you do get your heat mode activated. So all 3 of those moves that cause that crouch, you can get a guaranteed throw on the crouching opponent. So that's very cool. That's a quick 40 damage plus the situation afterward. It's excellent stuff. So some other moves that don't force the crouch but do have enough hit stun. First up is 1-2-1. That third hit has to be the counter hit alone. Like that. See that little recoil they have there? What's interesting about this is when you do 1-2-1 and you hold forward, he cancels that third punch into Bad Jaguar. So if you're doing this a lot and you're throwing out poison mist and you're doing the lows and stuff, they're going to start blowing up. Like when it gets blocked and you go into the Bad Jaguar stance, you're very negative. They can just jab you out of this. So when they start doing that, when they start jabbing you out of Bad Jaguar, you let the third hit rip and it'll counter hit them. So with that counter hit, you get +11, which is not a lot, but it gets you 2 options, one of which is just 2-1. You get 41 damage off of that hit, but You can also do 1-2-1 again. Because this time it's going to hit, you can cancel this one into Jaguar for free, and they won't really be able to challenge it the same way they can before. So what you get is basically letting the 1-2-1 rip, and then canceling it and getting the Jaguar mix up for free. So not a ton of utility out of that, but it's pretty cool. If you want to just throw that into your game, you'll catch people with that more often than not. It's pretty low risk to just kind of go for that at the end. Right? It's safe on block. The only problem is if you cancel it, you're deterring them from blowing up your stance, which is always good. Next up is down 2. The problem with this here is you are now crouching. Armor King is in a crouch state, so you can't throw like you normally would, but all you have to do is while standing 3-1, heat engager. That's guaranteed. Your 13 frame advantage is enough to do your heat engager. Right? You got to follow up off of that. So that's pretty nice to have. That's very common in this game. Heat engagers that don't have the best usage scenarios. There's a lot of moves that do have good usage, counter hit into heat engagers. That's one of them. Down 2 is pretty cool. So whenever that lands as a counter hit, you can get your heat engager off. The next 2, counter hit forward, neutral 2, the low hit, and counter hit of down forward to 1. What these do, you get plus 11 there, but if you hold forward off of these, you go into bad Jaguar. You go into bad Jaguar and you get Jaguar 1-2 guaranteed, which is a heat engager, or if you so choose, you can do 1-4 and get a back turn situation at the end of it if that happens to be your thing. You got to hold forward there. If you don't hold forward and get your stance, you won't get any follow-up. Right? You can't even go for the stance if it doesn't hit anyway. So always hold that in. When you're doing that low, always hold it in. And if you get the counter hit, bad Jaguar 1-2, heat engager. The last one is the real crown jewel of hit stuns, and that is back 1+2. You notice this does 0 damage. It's 0 on block, but on counter hit, it's plus 15. Now, if you're a crackhead, you can actually do this into dark upper. But you can't buffer that input. You have to wait till the first frame that he comes out of it to do the input and then get it perfect to come out in 15. It's very, very hard to do. So what you can simply do instead is up forward 2-1. That's a 15 frame launcher as well. So when this connects as a counter hit, right, you get the whole combo from that. It scales because it already takes away your 100% scaling with 0 damage. So it's only going to be, you know, a 50 damage combo instead of 70 or whatever, but still, it's a combo. From a move that has like almost no risk, you get a whole combo with that counter hit. That's very cool. So if you can do dark uppers, go for it. It's very, very difficult. Up forward 2-1 is pretty easy to do. It can miss due to range sometimes, right? It's not perfect, but it's okay. You do have other options, which would be down back 2-3. If you're near the wall, you could just do that. Down back 2-3 is a natural combo in this game, and it'll wall splat. So you want to do that instead of a launcher anyway. And your other option would be forward 2-1, heat engager. So you get that counter hit, you got tons of good stuff. And it's just a great, great move all around. You just start throwing this out in the middle of pressure stuff, and as soon as you catch that, boom, you nail them hard. The last category of mini combos is Poison Mist. Poison Mist you can do by crouch dash 1+2. You can do bad Jaguar stance and do forward 1+2. Or when you enter first bad Jaguar, the startup of that, it parries punches. And when it does, he automatically hits them with a Poison Mist. So this Poison Mist stuns them for a period of time, and during that stun, they cannot tech throws. They can't duck, they can't do anything but block. But you get 23 frames to get a throw for free. All right, you hear the sound effect, you see the camera pop in, that's unbreakable. They can't do anything about that. The spit only does 5 damage, but you get a free Tombstone Pile Driver. You can do anything you want there. Any throw you have works. Untechable. Given how good this bad Jaguar stance is going to be, having access to Poison Mist all the time, very good stuff. You're going to get free throws all over the place, especially in that situation where you have to take the throw when it hits, but the alternative there is the duck. The only way to avoid that is the duck in the face of that stance, and that's dangerous. This is the same situation you get fighting the Lydia when she goes into Heaven and Earth. She has an unblockable high. This is the same thing. You got to duck to avoid that. Otherwise, like Heihachi has the same thing. He's got a Raijin stance, I think, where he swipes at you and it causes that guard break. If you don't duck it, you're eating free damage. So that gets really dangerous. Just those mini combos alone have a lot of real good damage potential in them. A lot of those are very practical moves. The up back 1, for example, stuff, that's a great move to get a free follow-up from. be able to just get, 43 damage off of that. All the forced crouch, guaranteed throw stuff, those are excellent moves. So you got to learn those. Check the Google Doc. This has the master list of all of those, the damage they deal and all that stuff. In case you forget, what are my options off of blank? They're all right there for you. So definitely want to check that out. I cover them all specifically, but they're all in there written down for you to see, which I think helps a lot. Being able to see them written, see them on screen, etc. Good repetition, good for your brain. So on to full combos, the ones that I defined by launching them into the air, juggle, tornado, heat, etc., etc. The next tab in the Google Doc just lists your launchers. The launchers on normal hit, the ones on counter hit, and the ones on heat mode. So I'm not going to go over and list them all. You can check the list right there. You don't need them all in your game plan, but you're going to be using your hop kick a lot, right? It's a good move. You're going to be using down forward 3 a lot. It's a good move. So the more you learn these and start to integrate them, the better you get. So your launchers are listed in the doc, as are all of your combo tools. The next tab shows you, here's what all the tornado attacks are. Here's the opening moves we're going to do. What separates launchers is what your opening move has to be. Like the hop kick boots them up into the air. The dark upper boots them into the air, but that causes a crumple stun. This causes a bounce state. So you don't get the same, the next move is a little bit different for each one, right? So we're going to talk about the combos in sections. You can do this as your opener, you can do that as your opener. And from there, the combo is identical for everything. It's one universal combo. The only thing that changes is the first hit to get the combo going. So the combo tools page shows you all of these. Here's the openers we're going to use. We're going to use the same combo sequence after that, but there's different options for your ender, wall carry, and then what you can do in heat mode. When you still have heat mode left, you can do this at the end of the combo. That's all written down in there. So check that out too. Definitely want to see the Google Doc in action. And in fact, I would recommend just pulling it up while you're in practice mode so you can just peek over and see, oh yeah, let me do that, right? It's a good reference tool, I believe. So let's just jump into the actual combos. And again, the launchers are really only defined by what the next move has to be. So the first group of these are your pretty typical up in the air launchers. Up forward 4 hop kick, your dark upper, crouch dash 2, the counter hit of up forward 3, punch them into the air. And the outcast of this group is counter hit while standing 2. This little can animation is kind of goofy. What you want to go for all of these are the best damage one, is dark upper. You want to do dark upper and then a down forward 3 off a hop kick. Dark upper, down forward 3. In the case of this while standing 2, you just tap 2 during that animation that he does that dark upper automatically. If you input the dark upper correctly, you get bonus damage for doing it. So you can pump that up a little bit. Do this, input dark upper, down forward 3. There's your combo. So those are the highest damage options, those 4 launchers. Dark upper, down forward 3. Not that hard. You got to practice your quick dark upper timing, right? But you don't have to be like perfect on frames to get this. Next group, 2 of those, the dark upper itself and the knee lift, in addition to up forward 2-1 bounce state, the full crouch down forward 2 stun, and counter hit down forward 3 stun. These let you do the clothesline. You can do a crouch dash 1 into down forward 3. The damage is exactly the same. It's the same as doing the dark upper. An alternative for all of these as well, it's listed for the couple in the doc that don't work, is up forward 3, down forward 3. That's an easier version. That works for pretty much most of these as well. Hop kick, up forward 3, down forward 3. It's very safe and straightforward, but the crouch dash stuff does more damage. The clothesline dark upper does more damage. Once you learn them, it's cool. If you don't want to do that, don't bother. Just stick to up forward 3. It's all good. Those are listed in the doc. The ones where you can do dark upper, down forward 3, those are in orange. All like the grounded combos, those are written in green. So you can tell which ones are which. And the clothesline combination of them. It's kind of random which ones you can do the clothesline for. So learn that if you want to. If not, just skip on to the next part. So the next part, all these combos in green are the grounded stuff. We saw forward 2-1 already. We saw full crouch down forward 2. Counter hit down forward 3. As well as counter hit up forward 1. You can see that's a different crumple state where they follow forward. Counter hit of sidestep 4. That's the same kick as 1+2, 4. That counter hit, they crumple stun forward. And counter hit of bad jaguar 1+2. It's a little bounce in the air, but it has the same result as the grounded combo. So they're all going to lump together. You can't do the dark upper situation there, but you can do a bunch of other things. So first one I want to talk about is universal. Down 3 plus 4, 1. That's a universal opener for all of these combos. The ones we already talked about and the ones we're going to. You could do that every time if you want to and call it a day. But that's one of the lowest damage options there is. So down 3 plus 4, 1 is worth mentioning here because you can do it on all these ground combos and you can do everything else. But we have a couple other options. My favorite one is 3 plus 4, 1. The round out flip works in these combos. I think that's awesome. I love doing this move. That's so cool that works in combos. Very nice. You could also do 1 plus 2, 2. That's an old combo staple if you like that rhythm. That's also a nice option to have. Bop, bop, and then do your combo from there. That works. But the best option for these grounded type combos is forward 1 plus 2, bad Jaguar 1. You just hold forward and go into Jaguar and just do the one jab there. Right? Forward 1 plus 2, bad Jaguar 1. That does the most damage. And that works in all of these like crumple states on the ground, including the bad Jaguar move itself. That little bounce still works here. Seems weird, but it works. So all those combos in green, you have all 4 of those options, with the first one being pretty universal. So the rest of the combos I want to go over here, they're written in purple in the doc, and they have some picky properties to them. First up is forward, forward 2. See how they tumble away from you? That's a pretty unique animation. And as I mentioned, the universal option works. You can run up and do down 3 plus 4, 1. But that animation, that was born for you to do the round out flip, right? That's why that's in the game, is for that. So that's a unique option there. You cannot do 1 plus 2, 2, for example, right? You can't run up and do that. It's not going to work. It's either the universal option or the round out flip. While standing 1, as much as that looks like it's a regular floaty launcher, it's not. That doesn't work. The clothesline doesn't work. It's just a little bit different timing. So as I said, universal option. Here, the only other option you can do is 1 plus 2, 2, right? That's it. You're not going to be able to do the Jaguar one. You can't do the round out. That's all. So 1 plus 2, 2 for that launcher. And the last group are back turn 3 and capital punishment, up 1 plus 2. Those ones, you have to do the universal option. That's the only thing you pretty much have that works. There's some other things you could try, but as far as this combo we're going to learn here, that's it. Capital punishment, universal pickup, nothing else. You don't get any of those other options. So, to kind of quick recap, those orange combos at the top, you kick them up in the air. You can sometimes do clothesline. You can sometimes do dark upper. All the green combos where they stay on the ground, you have a bunch of these options, including the round out and the Jaguar stuff. Or you have a universal option that covers all of those, including the ones in purple. So, that's all the various different kind of basic launchers and the opening move you have to do next. After that opening move, the rest of the combo is identical for all of these. I'm going to just pick hop kick, up forward 3, down forward 3 for simplicity. I'm going to use that to demonstrate all of this. So that's my launcher and my opener. The rest of the combo, we can do lots of things, but I want to show you one thing and piece it together so you can learn how to work around that. You don't need to memorize 74 different combos. You memorize this one, but you learn it in parts, in blocks, and I think that really helps. So launcher, forward 3, down forward 3, forward 3, 2, 1. There you go. There's a tornado and you're done. It's nice and easy. But obviously we can do better than that. Forward 3, 2, you can cancel into crouch dash. You don't do the third hit. You just do forward 3, 2. And you hold down forward, and he goes into B step, into his crouch dash. So from there, if you just press the 1, he does the clothesline. So instead of doing forward 3, 2, 1, you do forward 3, 2, hold down forward, then press the 1, and you get that clothesline. So that looks like this. Right? You get that little freeze animation. That can be tricky to work around, so you got to get used to it. So that's your juggle extender. And then after that, we can just do the first part again. Up forward 3, down forward 3, clothesline, forward 3, 2, 1. Just do that part now, and there you go. There's your tornado, and 10 more damage. So that is your BnB combo. The ender from that, you're going to do that forward 1 plus 2 that we just talked about as your opener. You're going to do that into the Jaguar stance throw. The throw works on an airborne opponent. So the whole thing is like this. Forward 3, down forward 3, clothesline, throw. Forward 1 plus 2, keep holding forward, and then do the throw. What you have to do there is once you do the tornado, you kind of have to take a little sidestep to your right and then dash up, then do the move. It's very if you don't do that, it's going to miss a lot. The 3-dimensional hitbox is very picky. So you kind of have to learn that. Once you've done the forward 3, 2, 1, take a sidestep to your right, then run up and do that. It makes all the difference in the world. You got to learn it that way. My alternative that I like a lot, which just takes one hit out of it and makes it way more stable, is this. Same thing. Same opener. Clothesline. Down, forward, 1, 2. You get basically the same result. You can do the same ender, but it's one less hit, so it's much more stable. In my opinion, you don't have to like worry about it dropping for the most part. It's just the extra hit stretches it really far for 4 extra damage. So I kind of like down, forward, 1, 2 and keeping it simple. But the reason we're learning it like this is because you want to be able to change it up. If the wall is relatively close by, you're not going to have time to do that whole combo, right? You could just do this and then do the first one we talked about. Do that and be done with it. And then do that for wall carry, for example. So you want to be able to piece these together and say, oh, I got the space. I can do the whole combo. Or maybe at the very end of that combo, I'm going to be real close to the wall so I don't have time to do this Jaguar thing, right? You got to learn it that way. So I think having these in pieces helps to that regard. So forward 3, 2, 1, basic, if you're going to go for that, no problem. And the forward 3, 2 and the clothesline, that is the staple. That's every single combo you're going to do has that. And in the Google Doc, the 2 options. Forward 3, 2, 1 is a tornado, or down, forward, 1, 2 is a tornado. That's written in red and blue, respectively. They're exactly the same otherwise. That part is the only thing that's different. So the first one, you kind of have to sidestep right before the end of it. The second one, you don't have to worry about it. It's a little bit less damage, but it's more stable. So that's the combo you do from every single one of those launchers we talked about. The orange ones, the green ones, and the purple ones. So the next step is 2 launchers that are fairly unique to the system. One is counter hit down, forward 2, which Armor King players you recognize. It makes them fall in this very stupid angle. That universal pickup, down 3 plus 4, 1. That's pretty much your option here. You just do that and then go right into forward 3, 2, 1. Same ender. In this case, you want to sidestep to your left before you dash up there because of the goofy ass angle. That goofy ass angle is going to screw you up from time to time, but that helps to stabilize it. Once you just do the basic version, you will not get the clothesline stuff because of that angle. So just skip right to your opener. You do the universal opener there, and you do forward 3, 2, 1. In this case, you sidestep left before you do the Jaguar throw. Right? That's all you got to do. The other one is counter hit 4, 3. That causes a weird little float. There's no way to get the combo otherwise. You kind of have to just take that float. And the only thing I can find that logically picks that up is forward 3, 2, 1. So the one I like is forward 3, 2 clothesline, forward 3, 2, 1, another clothesline, and then down back 2, 3. Because we got some extra hits. We didn't do the opening hit that we learned all about. We skipped that and went right into the forward 3, 2 segments. So we got some extra hits. So once you do the tornado, clothesline, down back 2, 3 is a pretty good option. That does nice damage and good wall carry. So it works almost exactly the same as the other combos, but there's no opener, so to speak. You jump right into the combo because that's the only thing that hits. It seems weird, but that's just the way that it is. Right? Like that doesn't pick them up. The universal thing does not reach. Even though it's a low hit on the ground, it doesn't work. Forward 3, 2 is the only thing that works. So you got to stick with that combo. And then you get your extra clothesline at the end because you got some hits left over. The last category here is what happens when your tornado is first. Back 3, 2 does that. Counter hit down back 3 does that. And so does counter hit forward 3, 2, 1. They happen to get counter hit by that third hit causes a tornado. So what do you do there? You do a shitload of clotheslines. That's what you do. You start with 1. Forward 3, 2 clothesline. Forward 3, 2 clothesline. Down back 2, 3. I think that's good enough, right? I don't need more than that. 70 damage. It's easy as pie. You just start with the clothesline while they're on the ground and then do 2 of the loops. Since you already used up your tornado, you just do the forward 3, 2 clothesline, forward 2, 3 clothesline, and then down back 2, 3 or shoulder or something if you want, right? You can end up with a shoulder if you think that looks cooler, which it definitely looks cool. Right? Forward 3, 2 clothesline, forward 3, 2 clothesline, shoulder. It's up to you. But that's it. I mean, you could do a million different things there, I think, but that's good enough for me. I'm totally happy with that combo. It uses the block that we learned about, and it just kind of assembles it in a slightly different way. So 90% of your combos are going to be forward 3, 2 clothesline, tornado, and then forward 1 plus 2 Jaguar throw. Some of the other ones might have a slightly different order, fewer hits, etc. But that's that's all you got to learn. There's only one combo that you got to skip the opening hit. Otherwise, every other combo has the opening hit, and the rest of the combo is universal. So that's what I meant when it's pretty simple. Yeah, I know it took me like 15 minutes to go over it all, but I think that helped you learn it in a lot better way than just looking at a combo once and having to memorize it. When you see videos that are like that, yeah, they cover a lot of details, but you see a slightly different combo repeated 12 times with different launchers, and you think like, oh, I got to do this launcher, that combo, that launcher, and you don't. A lot of them are actually universal. So the way that I showed it to you, and especially when you look at the color-coded doc, shows you that, oh, all of these launchers, I can just do that combo. All of those launchers, I can do this combo, and those combos are almost exactly the same anyway. The only thing that changes is blah, 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 right? I think that helps the learning process a lot rather than just strict memorization. So the last thing we need to go over is wall combos. When your combo carries them all the way to the wall and they stick to the wall, you get a little bit more damage at the end, which you definitely want to maximize. But there's limits, right? Just like the juggle counter out in space, you can't do anything you want. You only have a couple of hits left. So if they hit the wall, like at the end of your combo like this, Armor King players remember down 2, 4, 3. That old familiar is still there. You might also remember 1, down, forward, 4, shoulder. That's still there. That's a tried and true classic Armor King combo. There's a new string, 3, 4, 1. This is really good in wall combos all around. It breaks the wall if they're up high. If it hits low, it does extra damage due to the scaling thing. That's a really good tool. You can use your new forward 3-2 string. Forward 3-2, delay that one for some extra damage. Or you can crouch dash into the knee lift for extra damage. That works well too. But your best option is the ground throw. Like we talked about in the clothesline section, the ground throws lead to the best reward, but they can be broken. So you can go for this one, which is a 1 break. That doesn't do a lot of damage. But the other one, the 2 break, that's a lot of damage, and you get a mix-up afterward. So what happens there is down back 2 plus 4, it picks them up and restands them. They're near the wall, they splat to the wall, you are plus 11. Or 12. I think it's plus 12. Sorry. It doesn't show that on screen very well, but it's there. It's plus 12, which means back 1-2 is guaranteed to hit them. When they stick to the wall, mash out back 1-2. It's guaranteed. Back 1-2, when you hold forward, goes into Bad Jaguar. So you can get a hard mix-up out of Bad Jaguar right away and do all kinds of stuff. Right? Hit him with the poison mist and an unblockable throw. Just like that, they're half dead from that one wall splat interaction. So that is your best option by far. But people know that, so they're probably going to 2 break, right? When they see you just do a jab and you go to pick them up, they're just going to 2 break like, oh, I don't want to get put in that resplat shit, let me 2 break. So you can keep them honest by doing the other one once in a while, which, gets you some of the damage back, right? Instead of you getting nothing by having the combo broken, you get some damage by going the shorter route. Or you can just stick to guaranteed damage with the hits. So when you get to the wall and you splat them, you can still use your tornado. If you haven't used it up in the combo to get here, like if you just freshly splat into the wall, you still get your tornado. So your single hit tornadoes are back 3 or crouch dash 4. Crouch dash 4 is a little harder to do because of the time that it takes, right? But it works. It's a bit more damage. Once you do that, you can do any of the things that we talked about above, right? Back 3, down 2, 4, 3. All of those wall combos, they all still work fine. The throw stuff works fine. Up, low, right? That's all there. Those are all still options for a 1-hit tornado. 2-hit tornadoes, which would be things like down, forward, 1, 2, or down 3 plus 4, 3. You do not get all of the options after those. You miss out on some of them because of the number of hits, but your 2 standouts here are this 3, 4, 1 string. That works pretty well. You get nice damage because of the way that hits them low to the ground. You get that extra scaling bonus. So that's the best pure damage option overall. It's just 3, 4, 1. Very easy, 3, 4, 1. And you can still do the throw stuff. Your 2-hit tornado, you can still do the throw stuff. Right? That's all still there. 3-hit tornado, you kind of ran out of choices here. You do forward 3, 2, 1. Just do the throw. Just do your regular throw for wall damage, and that's that. You really don't get anything else. It's too many hits. So I definitely recommend 2-hit tornado. If you still have your tornado attack available, right? wall splat, do down forward 1-2. Then you either, at that point, all you really have to worry about is just do 3-4-1 for max damage, or do the throw gimmicks. If you're feeling frisky and you want to keep resetting them, that works a lot. They're not going to break 2 every time, so you got to play that game with them the whole time, right? Intimidate them from breaking 2, etc., etc. So I think that's it. That's everything I can think of in terms of combos. If I missed something, please feel free to leave comments down below with suggestions or corrections or typos or anything like that. And also, please be sure to click the like and subscribe and the notify and the bell and all that stuff you have to do. That really does help a lot. So I appreciate that. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I will see you out there in one of the next videos. So until then, later.